Well, look, we're not going to belabor things, but I wanted to do this wide open public chat with you because no matter how jovial we are being right now, you, my friend, have gone through quite a serious ordeal, and I wanted you to have an opportunity to share about that ordeal. But if you don't mind, I want to kind of set people up on why we're doing this to begin with. So you all, if you do not recognize the young man who is sharing screen time with me, his name is Philip Howell. I guess at this point, gosh, Mr. Philip, I guess I've got to say it might be as many as 13 years. I think, yeah.
Damn.
I can't believe it. Because I'm still young and beautiful while you've aged. So I don't know what's going on.
Hey, I just let it go, man. I haven't done anything at all to my face 2 weeks prior to this surgery. So you're looking at me totally in the raw. Just like keep it dark and keep it trimmed. No, I just take the heck with it. You know, I'm not around anybody, so I'm not around anybody, so I'm good. Yeah. Nobody sees me.
Yeah, well, you look distinguished, sir. You look distinguished.
That's what I've heard with the jury. All right. Yeah, let me put it like that. The jury. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Just for anybody who's watching and everything like that, let me explain what's going on here. Philip has been my friend, we're going to just say, for 13 years. He entered my life at a very, very pivotal point where I was actually in the midst of separation from my first wife, and also having some, I guess I was on a learning curve, Mr. Philip, I guess I'll call it that, as far as you know, things related to God and, you know, what the heck I was actually doing with my life. And you and I, we actually got to know each other probably standing outside in the sun for about 6 hours, right?
6 hours, yeah. A long time.
Yeah. Just getting to actually more so me getting to learn you, because I think you already had me figured out already. So one of the things that I appreciated about you is that you were willing to address my questions and listen to all my babbling as it related to God. It was the connection that I never knew I needed. But in fact, I did need it. And just so our audience knows that this was during a time where I was getting ready to embark on a hiatus from the local church and go out into what I call my wilderness. And Philip was a big part of that transition from going to church every Sunday and Bible study and going through the routine into having a better understanding of actually who God is, who I'm not, and you know, helping me to navigate how do I take this new understanding of God and what do I do with it. So, you know, it was kind of like Philip labored with me to empty out all that nonsense that was in my brain. I think I still need some emptying out a little bit. But then was also the patience to go through the restructure and to, you know, just have many conversations for many hours on the phone just talking about God, talking about life, talking about things. And I got to tell you, my friend, I appreciated every moment because for better or for worse, it's got me to this point, and I do feel that there's been major growth, definitely a better understanding of God, and things related to the Bible, how to actually understand the Bible, understand the words that are not on the necessarily on the text, in the text, but what I call being able to read the page and not the ink, because I believe that God dwells on the pages. And I cannot tell you the amount of respect and the privilege it is to get to know you. So even though I'm teasing you right now, it's all out of respect and love, because it literally, and I'm not even joking, it literally saved my life, because I was going down a horrible spiral. A lot of people think that you might do some self-infliction based on putting a gun to your head, or drug and drinking, or just going around acting stupid. But if you're not prepared for life with Christ, you're still self-inflicting yourself. And so that's the part. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my business out there. When you wrote I call it now the manuscript. This is the manuscript that changed my life. And you know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going. I know.
So I asked you. This was me asking you. So I'm gonna own this. I asked you to put down on paper your impression of me, good or bad. And what I ended up getting was the manifesto. And the manifesto, at the core, it was related to, man, my heart was hard. And I was like, when I first got it, I got to tell you, I felt all kinds of certain ways that weren't necessarily good. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't think I had that issue. But then when I realized I actually did, because if you rejoice in the things that you're able to do naturally, thinking that somehow that has any kind of real significance, then that makes you just as selfish and arrogant and hard of heart as other people that it's a lot more noticeable. And I had to come to terms with that. And I'm really just setting up anyone who's watching this, because this all matters in why I'm doing this tonight. So the bottom line is that I owe you a debt of gratitude. Money can't fix it, or I can't, there's nothing that I can give personally to show the impact that you've had on my life. And then I get a call from you a few weeks ago, and this is where I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let you talk, and I want you to tell everybody about the nature of that call, because that call took me in a 180, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so, Philip, the floor is yours.
It's been so many calls about the surgery. Okay. I went on a vacation for a couple of weeks. Okay, and before I went on vacation, matter of fact, my first vacation in about 40 years, and I was told I had a mass in my sinuses, in one of my sinuses. sinuses. And they did an autopsy, they did a biopsy on it the day before I left to go on this vacation, this 3-week vacation. Okay, and then the doctor tried to call me while I was on vacation, but it was more or less like phone tag. Well, the day after I got back, the appointment was set up with the doctor, the specialist in Georgetown Hospital, and I found out that this mass, it was a tumor and it was cancer, and it was aggressive, and it had to be done. It had to be done. The surgery had to be done as soon as possible. But they said he was getting ready to go on vacation for a week. This is 2 days before Christmas, and that's what he scheduled the surgery for. Because it has to come out. Well, he told me the nature of it, what he would have to do, but I really didn't realize it until I went online and really checked it out. Exactly the nature of this particular surgery. They said it was going to be about a 7-hour surgery, but it wound up being closer to 8 or 9. And what they did was they cut me from up here all the way down, around here, down my lip, and on the inside, all the way over, to peel it back. They had to cut the bone up underneath my eye because it was so close to my eye that they was afraid that I may have to lose my eye. But I told them, no, I don't, whatever, do not, I don't want to lose my eye because I only have really one good eye, and that's this one, due to an accident back in the 2nd, 3rd grade. Well, anyway, they removed the tumor, and the residuals is that it made me where I cannot work, and I'm self-employed, okay? And all this is wide open with that openness, believe me, and that's it's still swollen. And this has the surgery was happening on the 23rd of December, and it's still swollen, stuff still coming out of my nose, and it has caused complications in my life, okay, to where I have to truly rely on the grace of God to carry me, okay, because there's nothing that I can do. I'm gonna share this one thing with you. I'm kind of hard-headed, and I walk on the edge, okay? I'm sort of like on the edge. Well, I went to work to test the water Monday, this past Monday, and I drive all up and down the East Coast and down South. Well, I did, and I went to Malta, New York, which is about a little over 450 miles, and I realized that I was not ready. Okay, my body was not ready. Okay, the pain that I sustained sitting in on that 6.5-hour drive, it really put me out. Okay, I had to pull over and rest. I had to pull over, and I just crashed out for about 30 minutes. This was on the way back. The pain in my face, the pain in my eye, which I've never experienced. My bladder would not empty. It was most miserable. So I really realize now that I am not in the condition to really put myself back out there. Okay, I'm not. I thought I was. My head said I was. No, I can do it. You know, but my body said no, and my wisdom, I had put in my back pocket. I said let me try for myself. Sometimes it's good to go with your wisdom, irrespective of what you think and how you feel. Because I had an idea that I may not be ready, but let me do it anyway, and I paid the price. So I have, as it stands now, I'm dead in the water, and I feel like Elijah, you know, when he was running from Jezebel, and he was under the tree, and the ravens had to feed him day by day. Okay, so I sort of feel like that because I'm at the mercy of God, and because God deals with people's hearts. And so there's nothing that I can do at this point, really. Don't think I'm afraid of anything, okay, but I'm not. It's just that I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day, just like Elijah. And he was fed day by day, okay, to the Lord, kind of like he assured him who was behind him, you know, all the host of angels. Okay, so all I'm speaking of is not actually knowing, okay, and just trusting God. And that's all I can do at this point. You know, that's all I can do at this point. And I really appreciate the accolades that you gave me. Mr. Lewis. You know, I really appreciate the things you said. Okay, um, but as far as the surgery is concerned, um, all this is numb here, whereas all folding is actually numb on the outside. On the inside, no. When I went to the doctor, he had to put some things all the way up my nose into my sinuses. I was feeling all of that. Okay. Um, my urinary tract is messed up because of that doctor that I had in me for a couple of weeks. Messed me up that way. You know, so got to deal with that. It's not good, but I'll live. You know, like I said, only by His grace. Only by His grace, and that's the difference between faith and trust. Okay. I know that faith is faith. I know that God is, but trust holds up my faith when God doesn't do what He thinks He ought to do. You have to trust His judgment, and that's where trust comes in. Okay, so those are the words of wisdom that I've known, and now I got to walk in it. I really don't mind walking it because I know I trust God because He kept me all these years, and you know, not like that song, you know, He means just for the leaving. I'm not dealing with that song, but He brought me this way for a particular purpose. Okay, and he allowed this thing to happen for what? I don't know, but I'm dealing with it. My faith and my trust has not wavered, no matter what happens. So right now, like I said, it's day by day. And I appreciate Lewis putting me on his live broadcast. I really appreciate it. And the things that he's doing for me, you know, with the platforms he's put me out there on. And I really, really appreciate it, you know. And I will not forget this. How could I? You know, I'm not going to forget about, you know, Billy Graham. Okay. You know, I can squeeze that in there. I had
Look.
Right.
We would have to stay on here for quite a while to explain that comment.
Yeah. Another time, another place.
Yeah. You know, here's the thing. So I want to tell people exactly what you had, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna say this without butchering the name of it. But you know, when Philip told me about the procedure and all the intricacies that had to take place in order to get to that area where the cancerous tumor was, well, you know me, I had to look it up to see, okay, what in the world is he talking about? So this thing is actually called, the way I looked it up, it's called an endoscopic medial maxillectomy. And that procedure that Philip went through was like an 8 to 9 hour procedure. And honestly, the reason that we're even doing this is not just so that you guys can see that we get along and we're just chatting for the sake of chatting, but as you already heard from him, even though he shouldn't have, he went out and tried to go back to work, and it's just not possible right now. And being self-employed and having no other source of income, we wanted to do something to at least show some support. And, you know, to his point, ultimately everything comes down to God. It comes to the things that Philip has already talked about, faith, through that avenue of trust. But I also believe that God puts people or things in motion that we don't always see and we don't always realize until it's already happened. And one of the things that I was trying to do was to take his platform, because he created a GoFundMe platform, and at the time that he had created it, that thing was stuck on $50 from one person. And I was just saying, oh my gosh, it's no way, with a need that is going to be in the multiple thousands because of the time that you're going to have to be out of work. I just tried to think of anything that I could do to at least get more people to understand the circumstances. And so I wanted to use my social media platform, for better or for worse, to at least get that out there. And what we're doing right now is part of that to a lesser degree. Philip was good enough to record a video for me. I ended up creating kind of an info commercial, if you want to call it that, out of the video he sent. That video, for you guys that are listening now or will be listening later, you can go out to YouTube and you can actually just look up Adoration Talk Radio, all one word, Adoration Talk Radio, and you will see a video out there that's titled For Philip, and it tells you everything that you need to know. So, Philip, if you don't mind, I just want to share the numbers that we have so far, and I know that you've received a little help outside of that GoFundMe, but we took that initial $50, and right now it's been sitting at $725 for way more days than I wanted to. So I'm not going to lie to you guys that are looking at this. This is totally a money ask to help my friend. And I'm not ashamed to ask for it, because you know what? Those that are not asking, they'll never receive. And I felt like it would be easier for me to do it than for him to do it, because I asked for a lot of money for different causes and concerns. But this one is personal to me because of the person that I'm sharing screen time with, again, instrumental in my life. So we're going to wrap this thing up, but I want to give you guys a way that you can give any dollar amount. Guys, we have to understand that pennies make dollars, dollars make tens of dollars make hundreds of dollars make thousands of dollars, and so on and so on. And so if you want to help my friend, I want you guys to go to GoFundMe. If you just go www.gofundme /7578936. Again, that's www.gofundme /7578936. And Mr. Philip, with your permission, I want to also give them my Cash App location, so that for people that may not be as comfortable on GoFundMe, Cash App is a great alternative. In fact, it's even better, to be honest with you guys, because where GoFundMe takes some fees, Cash App, it will come directly to the source without any fees. So if you want to give on Cash App, you can go to my Cash App, which is $ and then the words Little Piano Man. Again, $ Little Piano Man, and that's all lowercase. That's actually, Philip, young lady that, in fact, you know it, Teresa Stewart's granddaughter.
Yes.
She gave me that
Yes.
name, Little Piano Man.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I've been using
I do.
a handle on Cash App ever since. This has been like really cool. Once we figured out the technology to get us both on the same screen, because I was about to lose my mind going out here 3 times, going out on Facebook Live and not being able to bring you in. So, Philip, is there anything that you want to say?
Well, I want to reiterate my thanks to you, for what you're doing and for this live video. And just want to say that being my very first surgery in my life, it had to be this major surgery. It's like going from a big wheel tricycle to a dragster. Okay, that's the equivalent. Okay, so but I do want to thank any who cares. I want to thank you in advance because I really, really appreciate it, and the friendship between me and Mr. Lewis. I call him Mr. Lewis. All right, goes back a ways, and I really appreciate what he has done for me and what he's doing for me. Um, and I appreciate all that are listening to him and tuning in. I really appreciate it, the fact that you're all listening to him and what he's doing for me. And like I said, for those who feel it in their heart to give, I'm thanking you in advance. I'm thanking you in advance.